The journey of the Izzy doll begins with Master Corporal Mark Isfeld, who joined the Canadian Armed Forces and became a sapper with the No. 1 Cambat Engineer Regiment. Mark's training included the dismantling of mines, bombs, IEDs, and other types of explosive devices. After training, he served on UN peacekeeping missions in Kuwait and Croatia. Once stationed in the areas of conflict, it didn't take long for Mark to feel the pains of the innocent, and scenes of children hobbling through the streets began to haunt him. One incident of a little boy pulling his brother on a makeshift cart left an indelible image in his mind. The little boy's brother had no legs. Children on crutches and bandaged kids missing feet and arms were all too common. Mark knew that with every mine he cleared, he was saving the lives of civilians and children in the area. Mark's second UN peacekeeping mission saw him in Croatia. On this mission, he was responsible for clearing the roads of mines to allow the troops to move without obstruction or accident. They would also clear property and buildings of landmines so civilians and farmers could try to resume their livelihoods and gain some normalcy in life. One day, while on a patrol in a small hamlet, he drove into the yard of a destroyed home and noticed what appeared to be a body of a small child on top of a pile of rubble. He quickly assessed the situation and realized it was a toddler's doll, not a human casualty. Mark took a picture of this scene to archive the memory. When Mark got home on his next leave, he described the incident to his mother, Carol. And when he had his pictures developed, he made it a point to show her the picture and sadly said, "Look, Mom, some little girl has lost her doll, and a doll has lost her little girl." Carol was moved by Mark's empathy for the children who had been robbed of their developing years. She tried to think of something she could do to help. Mark returned to Croatia after his leave, and it wasn't long before a parcel arrived. In the parcel was 21 little crocheted dolls, half with blue berets and half with little girls' pigtails. Mark began carrying these dolls in his pockets, and whenever he met children while out on patrol, he handed them a doll and watched the distrust of the soldier melt away. Exchanged smiles were followed by trusting eyes that seemed to light up and glow. As his section commander once said, Mark collected little hearts, he collected little smiles, and he collected little handshakes. On June 21, 1994, Mark was guiding an armored personnel carrier along a lane cleared the previous day. He was walking in front when the carrier struck a tripwire set overnight by terrorists. The resulting explosion fatally injured Mark, and within hours he died of his injuries. Following his death, the No. 1 Cambat Engineer Regiment asked Mark's mother if she would continue to make the dolls, so they could give them to the children in Mark's memory. They named these dolls Izzy. Carol recruited more knitters, or angels as she called them, and charged them with the goal of meeting the need. To maintain the legacy and charitable aspect of the Izzy dolls and prevent commercialization, Carol obtained a copyright, and now no Izzy doll can be bought, sold, or used for financial gain. Then along came Billy Wilbon, a retired peacekeeper. Billy had observed an agency working in Africa known as the International Community for the Relief of Starvation and Suffering, more commonly known as ICROS International. This organization was doing exactly what Billy and his wife Lynn felt drawn to: relief of starvation and suffering. The objective was met, and ICROS Canada was established. As a friend of the Isfeld family, Billy had seen firsthand what comfort and joy a small crocheted doll could bring to the little children in war-torn countries. He then asked Carol for permission to use the Izzy doll for the children in Africa. The face of the doll was changed to reflect their culture, resulting in the African comfort doll with a black face. Today, Izzy dolls are knitted and crocheted with different colored faces to reflect the various cultures. By the end of 2013, ICROS Canada had distributed over 1.3 million Izzy and African comfort dolls worldwide to the poorest of the poor. In 2005, Shirley O'Connell joined the project. 2 news broadcasts, one showing the devastation on the faces of children during the Boxing Day tsunami in Indonesia, and the other of the dedication of a bronze statue of Master Corporal Mark Isfeld in Peacekeeper Park, Calgary, merged into one idea. The Izzy doll, in memory of one of our own Canadian soldiers, could not only bring smiles to the children of war, but could also bring comfort to the children suffering because of natural disasters. Shirley's membership in the Order of the Eastern Star helped open up a Canada-wide network for the collection of Izzy dolls. An association with Lieutenant Colonel Ken Holmes, president of the Canadian Military Engineers Association, established a distribution network by the Canadian Armed Forces. These networks together widen the distribution of Izzy dolls by the Canadian Military Engineers to children in war-torn countries and to those suffering from natural disasters. In the years following the establishment of these two networks, Izzy dolls have been distributed by other personnel, such as doctors, nurses, disaster assistance response team members, better known as DART, and many more. Over 25,000 Izzy dolls were taken to Afghanistan by the 2 Cambat Engineers Regiment from Petawawa between 2005 and 2009. Thousands of children in Haiti have received comfort dolls following the devastating earthquake in 2010. More than 3,000 Izzy dolls were shared among the children in the Philippines following the November 2013 typhoon. In addition to the Canadian Armed Forces and iCross Canada, Izzy dolls are used as packing and distributed to the children by other Canadian organizations and charities. Canadian international police officers used the Izzy dolls as teaching aids in Afghanistan and Haiti when they went into the schools to teach them safety. Over 2,000 Izzy dolls were shared between the police officers and the children on the Afghan mission alone. Health Partners International Canada is a supplier of physician travel packs. These packs contain medicines and medical supplies to be used in disaster areas or on short-term medical missions. To protect the fragile items in these packs, Izzy dolls are used as packing material, and upon reaching their destination are given to the children by the Canadian doctors and aid workers. Izzy dolls also reach the hearts of children through charities such as Orbis International, the Flying Eye Hospital. Dr. Brian Leonard, head of the Ottawa Eye Institute and a volunteer with Orbis, requested that their supply of Izzy dolls have eye patches that could be removed. Orphanages in Tibet, India, Bangladesh are only a few of the countries that Child Haven Canada has distributed Izzy dolls. Children in many countries of South America have shared their hearts with Izzy's. Thousands have been given out in Peru, Ecuador, and Guatemala, and they have nourished the hearts there. Much has happened since Mark's death in 1994. A bridge in British Columbia was dedicated and named the Izzy Bridge. A school in Courtenay, BC was named the Mark R. Isfeld Secondary School. A book written by author, singer, songwriter Phyllis Wheaton, entitled In the Mood for Peace, The Story of the Izzy Doll, was published, and Phyllis's Izzy Doll song was released on her website. The town of Perth, Ontario declared June 27, 2012 as In the Mood for Peace Day, honoring the peacekeepers and the story of the Izzy doll. Veterans Affairs Canada offers a program each year where students from across the country arrive in Ottawa to participate in a week of remembrance. This is called Encounters with Canada. For the past 5 years, students have attended an Izzy doll workshop where they learn the history of the Izzy doll and participate by finishing an Izzy. On May 6, 2014, a group of 19 walkers, which included 17 Canadian soldiers and 2 RCMP officers who were wounded in Afghanistan, participated in the Soldier On Relay. Walking from Trenton, Ontario, they arrived in Perth on their way to Ottawa. They all knew the story of Master Corporal Mark Isfeld's legacy, and some had had the opportunity to give Izzy dolls to children in Afghanistan and Haiti. During the ceremony at Perth upon Tay Royal Canadian Legion, each one was presented with their own soldier Izzy doll, as a thank you for everything they had done and continued to do for their country. It was a very moving moment. One soldier said that when she was wounded, someone gave her an Izzy doll, which brought a great amount of comfort because it was something from home. When her pain became too intense, she found relief by biting down on the doll until the pain subsided. June 21, 2014 marked the 20th anniversary of Master Corporal Mark Isfeld's death. Mark served his country with honor, found ways to bring comfort to little children, and paid the ultimate sacrifice. A soldier, a peacekeeper, a hero, and a humanitarian. The legacy he left behind remains as strong today as it did over 20 years ago. The Izzy doll speaks for the heart and soul of many Canadian women and says we care. We care about the suffering children around the world. We live in a great country and want to show our support, and the Izzy doll is that vehicle. It is made with love, sent to the children of the world with love, and is freely given with love for comfort. We have to thank the hundreds of women, men, teenagers, boys and girls who have made a difference by knitting and crocheting over 1.3 million Izzy dolls for the global village. Shirley O'Connell, the Izzy doll mama, encourages everyone to help comfort the hearts of children. Your Izzy will help.
This is a mission with a story. Keepers of the peace, they'd think about the lives they saved, but not the one they'd rid. Hear the mines exploding, acres of infected land, many casualties a month, saved by their brave hands, Canadian hands. Soldiers saw the sadness in the eyes among the ruins and tried to raise their spirits with handmade dolls from home. A gift of small proportion, crocheted and freely shared, to cheer the grieving children after ravages of war. To fit a soldier's pocket who understood their toll, it won the people's smiles and hearts, this homemade Izzy doll. Bigger things began to happen as they gained civilians' trust. Invitations and directions reveal secrets in the dust. Our soldiers served for strangers in a country far away, left a legacy for Canada with the headway they had gained and the peace they'd made. Touch 1,000 Izzy dolls given out in war-torn lands, held with love, restoring hope in the children's tiny hands.